Are you ready to breeze through airport security and federal buildings with absolute ease? We'll discover how to get your Minnesota Real ID effortlessly with our step-by-step guide. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are on a mission to completely demystify the Real ID process for Minnesota residents. This isn't just about boring bureaucracy. It's about ensuring your travel freedom remains totally uninterrupted. If you've been feeling, a bit overwhelmed by the shifting deadlines, the endless document requirements, or literally just the thought of waiting in line at the DMV, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break this whole thing down into clear, manageable steps so that even a complete beginner can confidently tackle the process from start to finish.
All right, here is our roadmap for today. First, why get a Real ID? Second, the essential documents checklist. Third, navigating name changes. Fourth, the application process. And finally, fees and pro tips.
Section 1. Why get a Real ID? The May 2025 deadline.
So notice that special little star on the Minnesota map? That star is exactly what proves your federal compliance. And here's why it matters. Starting May 7th, 2025, Minnesotans 18 and older can no longer use a standard driver's license to board a domestic commercial flight or enter certain secure federal facilities and military bases. You're going to need a Real ID, an enhanced ID, or a federally approved alternative. No exceptions.
Now, you actually have 3 options, and it's really important not to overpay or underprepare here. A standard ID will still let you drive and vote, sure, but it will absolutely not get you on a domestic plane after that deadline. The Real ID fixes that air travel problem for you. But hey, if you're someone who likes to drive across the border to Canada or Mexico, you might actually want to consider the enhanced ID instead. It basically acts like a passport card for land and sea border crossings.
Moving right along to Section 2, Essential Documents Checklist. Gathering your gear. Okay, so the absolutely crucial point here is that you need exactly one original document from List A to prove who you are, your date of birth, and your legal presence in the U.S. A valid, unexpired U.S. passport is awesome for this. If you decide to use a birth certificate, it has to be an original or a certified copy issued by a U.S. jurisdiction with a raised or authorized seal. A hospital souvenir certificate? Yeah, that won't work.
Next up is List B. You need to grab one document to verify your Social Security number. You can just use your actual Social Security card, a W-2 form, a 1099, or a computer-printed U.S. pay stub. The key thing to remember is that the document must clearly show your name, your address, and your full Social Security number. Before we look at the final list, you really need to heed this warning to avoid immediate rejection at the license center. Bring physical, pristine originals. Photocopies, scans, and faxes, strictly prohibited. Don't even try to show them a digital bill on your smartphone. It will be rejected on the spot. Laminated documents, or frankly, anything with erasures or alterations are also totally out. And finally, you absolutely cannot use a P.O. box to prove your residency. It has to be your actual physical home address. And that brings us to List C. You must provide 2 completely different documents containing your current name and principal Minnesota address. You could definitely use your unexpired Minnesota driver's license as one of them. For the second one, a home utility bill, bank statement, or pay stub works perfectly. Just make sure it was issued within the last 12 months. A certified college transcript works too, but that one has to be issued within the last 180 days.
All right, on to Section 3, Navigating Name Changes, Overcoming Obstacles.
So if your current legal name is different from the name on your identity document, like your birth certificate, for example, you must provide certified proof connecting every single change. Think of it like dropping breadcrumbs, leading all the way from your birth identity to your current identity. If you've been married twice and changed your name both times, you need the certified marriage certificates or divorce decrees for both events to prove that unbroken chain.
And here is a massive pro tip that can save you a serious headache. If you have recently changed your name, make absolutely sure you update it with the Social Security Administration first. Why? Because when you apply for your Real ID, the state's computer system literally talks to the federal system. If the Social Security Administration doesn't have your new name yet, your Real ID application will be denied right then and there.
Section 4. The application process. The final trial.
Following these 4 highly structured steps turns a notoriously frustrating bureaucratic chore into a total streamlined victory. After gathering your pristine documents, you'll need to set up your visit. Now, while walk-ins are sometimes accepted, scheduling an appointment is always the smartest play. Once you complete this process, you should expect a processing time of several weeks to actually receive your ID in the mail, so definitely plan accordingly.
But wait, before you even walk through the doors, you should really use this tool. Filling out your pre-application online at the Minnesota Driver and Vehicle Services website, that's drive.mn.gov, is the absolute best way to cut down your wait time. It lets you enter a huge chunk of your data from the comfort of your own couch, meaning you spend way less time standing awkwardly at the counter. When you do finally arrive for your appointment, make sure you bring those original documents and your confirmation number. Heck, bring your own pen just in case. Expect to take a standard vision test and get a brand new photo taken. Also, if the applicant is under 18, a parent or guardian must be present with their own ID to sign the application and certify residency. Oh, and watch the clock. Many offices stop processing real IDs early, often 30 to 45 minutes before they close. Please don't show up at 4:15 p.m. expecting to get a real ID if they close at 4:30. And remember, if there are any unexpected delays in receiving your ID, you can easily check your application status online at drive.mn.gov. Okay, final stretch. Section 5. Fees and pro tips. Claiming your reward. So, the standard fee for obtaining your Minnesota Real ID is exactly $26. Just for comparison, if you opt for the enhanced ID we talked about earlier, that fee is $41. Honestly, $26 is a pretty small investment for completely uninterrupted travel freedom. Now, here's a fun fact that might actually save some of you a trip entirely. 37.5% of Minnesotans already own a passport. If you are one of them, you can simply use your valid U.S. passport to board domestic flights and access federal buildings instead of a real ID. You literally don't legally have to upgrade your driver's license if you're willing to just carry your passport when you fly domestically. But what happens if you just ignore the deadline completely? Well, the TSA is developing a secondary compliance framework for travelers who show up without a compliant ID. Starting in February 2026, if you present a non-compliant standard license at the airport, you're going to be forced to step aside, undergo the TSA Confirm ID protocol by filling out an online form, and pay a $45 non-refundable user fee right there at the checkpoint. Compare that $45 penalty fee to the $26 cost of just getting your real ID done right now. I think the choice is pretty clear. Before you embark on your real ID journey, please remember this professional disclaimer. While we have thoroughly mapped this whole process out for you, government rules and document requirements can and do shift. Always verify the most up-to-date details with official Minnesota state resources like drive.mn.gov just to ensure you have the exact right paperwork for your specific situation. The federal deadline is ticking down, but you now have the exact roadmap to conquer it. Seriously, don't wait until the last minute when the license centers are completely swamped. Gather your documents, pre-apply online, schedule your appointment, and secure your travel freedom today. So, on May 7th, 2025, will you be the one stuck filling out penalty forms at the checkpoint? Or will you be the traveler who breezes right through? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and safe travels.